Okay. Hello! Wait, okay. Ian. Get in the voice call real quick. I want to ask you something. It's fine. It can be during the stream. Who cares? Okay. Also, did I post everything everywhere? Yeah, good. Okay. You people can wait. It's fine. We can. Yeah.
Hello?
Hey.
Alright, what's up?
What is this popcorn? What?
Sour Kids popcorn, obviously.
What is it? Is it good?
Hell yeah.
Is it? Oh my god. Oh, that's terrible.
It is glorious. There's 5 servings per container, and each one has 14 grams of sugar, and it's popcorn.
Oh my god. Okay. So I know I said that I wasn't like that big on sugar. Sour Patch Kids is a weakness of mine. I'll admit to that.
Oh shit. Okay.
I'll eat like a giant bag of Sour Patch Kids, and I feel terrible. Like I feel like I'm gonna die afterwards. But
Oh yeah, they'll fuck you up.
at the same
They
time,
fuck up,
like
the taste bugs on your tongue.
oh yeah. But like I'll just keep eating them. Like if the bag is there, I'll just keep going.
Yeah.
It's like the only candy that I do that with, which is why I can't buy it.
Gotcha. You see, I do that with every candy in existence.
Oh no.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll eat this whole bag sitting here.
Oh.
That's a fact.
No. That's terrible. Also, hi Cody. If you're here in the Hi.
Oh.
Welcome. So are they just like look, I'm looking at the picture and it's like is it coated in like frosting? It almost looks like that.
Yeah, they have like a white. Yeah. I don't even know what it is. Some of them just like looks like they got like jizzed on a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like, wait.
Yeah. That was like 4 pieces connected with one. And they just got little bits all over them.
It's like, oh no, I'm confused.
All you need to know is that yes, it is trashy.
Okay. Good. What do you think of that, Cody? The popcorn. Would you buy it? That's the question.
What kind of popcorn?
Apparently it's Sour Patch Kids popcorn.
Yeah, I posted on Discord. It's really good.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Solid maybe.
Yeah.
Probably about halfway through the bag right now.
Oh my god.
There's really not a lot.
There never is with those kind of things, though.
Yeah.
They have, like... They fill, like, half the bag at most.
There's a lot of air in it. Yep.
Like, I partially get it, but at the same time, it's like, no. Just do, like, 3/4. Like, come on. I don't know.
I'll stop eating it for now.
For now? Oh yeah. My god.
As I sip my soda.
No,
Ah,
you have your sugary snack with your sugary beverage
yep.
with more
Yeah, I
sugar
got
on
some
the
water.
side.
This is my treat. Okay,
Your treat. That's what you
yeah.
call it.
This is what I get when I get off work.
Oh
This is
my
my treat.
god. What do you do?
This is my this is my reward.
You like go to the store and find like the sugariest thing.
Yep. Yeah. No, I just went shopping before I came home.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm one of those people. If I see something like that, I'll just immediately pick it up. I'm not gonna think about it. I'm like, I'll show you. I'll try that. Boom.
Oh my god. Well, as
It's
long as
screw,
you're
like,
still
looking-
alive.
Yeah, like screw looking at it and being like, oh man, that'd be weird. Like, I wonder what it tastes. Just do it.
Just grab it, eat it. Like
Yeah. Like I saw online, there's there's these sushi rolls, but it's like Doritos flaming hot flavor.
what?
And like, if I see that in the store, hell yeah, I'm gonna buy it. But I have no idea where I'd even find it.
No.
That would be an experience.
It sounds disgusting. What?
It does.
Like
It
I
does.
already don't like sushi. Like I know
Yeah,
an Asian
there's-
who doesn't like sushi.
Oh.
Like it's a spicy take, that's for sure.
I've rarely had any, but I want to try that.
Okay. There's only
If I
like
see it, I'm definitely getting it.
okay. There's only one type of sushi I actually like eating, and it's called like tomogo, and it's just egg. Like you just put egg on top of a sushi roll. It's amazing.
See, I'm weird. I don't like rice. Yeah, I know.
What?
I know. Yep. Get out.
What?
So the sushi that I like is ones without rice.
What? Oh, so like just sashimi?
I don't know the names.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, I've had it very few times.
Okay. Hi, Fane.
Like
Maybe?
I never. What?
I see Fane in the voice call. He's muted, so I just said
Yeah.
hi. If
But,
he can hear me.
Like I've never
I
really
can
had.
hear you. I didn't want to interrupt Ian's
Oh.
This
revelation.
wonderful.
Okay.
conversation, Yeah. Yeah, I've never really
I'm
ate
talking about food.
seafood because like my parents didn't like it, so we never ate it growing up.
Okay.
When I've had seafood like with sushi or just alone, I don't mind it. So I'm sure I'd like sushi. I just
Oh,
don't
okay.
really know.
Is that even like a thing in your area though?
No. No.
I've already forgotten what state you said you live in. So
That it's somewhere in the Midwest. That's all you
yeah, it's
know.
in Middle America.
Middle America. Yep. Yeah. Like when I got sushi, I visited my sister and she lives in like a big city. And they had
Ah.
like some special sushi place.
Okay.
But yeah, where I am no.
Good. Amazing.
It's all American barbecue.
Barbecue. Okay. America barbecue.
Yeah. And
I-
just fucking fast food everywhere.
Oh,
Like
but
in my
that
town, there's just like one strip, this huge strip that like that all the cars go down, and on the side it's just full of fast food. Like that's all it is.
I feel like that's everywhere though.
Yeah, but it's a lot.
Like even in the small town I live in, there's a roundabout like right in like kind of a little bit like one block away from town, and there's like 5 like fast food places around that roundabout.
Good. Good.
And it sucks because that roundabout's like 2 minutes from my house, which means I go there a
Oh.
lot.
Oh yeah. No, the worst part with like so much fast food is that I get lazy because I'm like, oh man, I could go here, but that'd take me like 5 whole minutes to drive there when I could drive 2 minutes to Taco Bell.
Oh my god. It's like, oh no, I have a Wendy's and McDonald's 2 minutes from my house. Like
God, that's bad. Ugh.
I make sure not to go. But like
Yeah.
some days.
Yeah, no. I live literally a minute car ride away from Walmart in
Mm.
Hy-Vee. So like if I have just like an urge to get some shitty candy, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna do it.
Oh no.
It'll be worse in the summer when it's not fucking freezing.
Oh my god. It's the reason why like I end up having Pizza Hut too much. Is there's a Pizza Hut on that roundabout I just mentioned.
Oh,
So it means I can like order a pizza, drive 2 minutes and pick it up.
yep.
And I'm like, this is bad. This is
No,
this is actually
Someone
bad.
who's only recently had roundabouts like built. What do
Oh.
you mean when you say on a roundabout?
Like it's
Like, is
just
it
off
just,
of a
like-
roundabout. Like you exit the roundabout,
Okay.
you go like 5 feet, and you can
Okay.
turn into like like one of these fast food
Okay.
places.
That's fair. I was scared for a second that they were about to
Wait,
get
you
more
have
complicated.
roundabouts?
What'd you say, Cody?
You have roundabouts?
Yeah, I live in a small town and we have like 3 or 4 roundabouts.
I
Yeah.
honestly didn't think they existed here in the US.
Oh yeah, they do. They do.
Oh yeah. They
They're
do.
actually really convenient to like keep traffic flowing. So
Oh, yeah.
Josh, you don't need to defend these
Yeah,
things.
like, well, where I'm from, they
Except-
have a lot of roundabouts, but I haven't seen a single one here.
oh.
See, they are good for traffic, except people don't understand how they fucking work.
Oh my god, when they were first built in
True.
my town, there was traffic accidents every day.
People are so fucking dumb.
Like we got them back in like 2016. And yeah. It was bad for like 2 years.
I believe it.
Now it's fine though.
Like in my town, there was the road, the main road, like had construction on one lane,
Mhm.
and instead of like, they did something where like 2 lanes would shift over one lane.
Mhm.
So you'd be driving and you'd curve to the right, and then after a while you like go back left. But then there was the idiots where when it curves back, they wouldn't change lane and they just stay in the same lane. And the other side, people would just crash into them because they're fucking following the dumb lines. People are awful.
Oh my god. Yeah. I get it. How's your night been, Fane?
It's been fun. You know.
I guess it's I don't
Yeah.
I guess it's like not that
Waiting
late for you.
to hear back. It's 7, but I have not really slept too well the past couple days because I'm waiting to hear back from a job interview.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah, so I've just been distracting myself, so it's not like the most exciting thing in the world.
Ah,
But I'm here now,
yeah.
which is, you know,
We can hang out for a bit.
yeah.
I'll
with-
get
with
to
this
reading at some point.
wonderful, surely joyous experience.
I-
I mean, there will be joy, but from
Yeah.
other angles. You know, it's fun to join a mob. And I
What?
feel like that's what's going to happen by the end of this. But I'm
What?
not going to provide further context.
Okay, because he said that Path D isn't that long, right?
No, it's like you've already done Path C,
Yeah.
right? So it's going to be a lot of the same content.
Oh, okay.
There's just a few things that are very different.
Okay. I assume that everyone will come out okay, and like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's the weird thing about this bad end is everyone's fine.
oh, lit.
You know? Right?
It's all
They
good.
tricked you with the D. They tricked you with the D. I know that's confusing, especially for people like us, our culture. But it was not for death. It was for David. He saved us.
Oh
That's why I
man.
had to put him in D. That's why I put him in D in the tier list as a hint. As a hint that it was actually all going to be okay.
Oh my god.
Definitely.
Oh my god, I can't wait for them to open the vault and then like David walks out of it.
Oh God. I am so scared about so many things.
Yeah, I am too. Like, it's probably fine.
That's probably okay.
Right, right.
Well, David wasn't actually dead.
Didn't Grizz say that, yeah, he is dead?
I don't know. Probably.
Someone told me that in,
Grizz?
like, the comments at some point.
I don't trust it.
I don't
Yeah.
know if I should trust the comments and on the password videos, but...
You know, you can. You know what, Josh? Believe in people. Don't be cynical.
Right, right? I have to believe people, because I am not...
You have to be better than Jenna.
Well, I'm dumb enough to where I have to actually believe everyone.
That's fair. I can see that.
I just have to ask people for things and be like, just take them entirely at face value.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. Is like I think what you do is you forget that there's like context, that like there's delays. So when people are responding to things, you miss out on the fact that people are probably responding to something like a minute earlier, and then you just take the first thing you see as like, oh, this is what it was, and it's just that. It's very funny. Which is how we get
I try.
very special. You do try. I don't know what that means. If that's a positive or negative, but you do try.
Yeah, I'll try my best this stream.
Okay.
You get an A for effort.
Right? I gotta get there. Okay, so we don't input the password. Right? Yeah.
You don't. You
Yeah.
Give up.
We
You
give
let
up.
What happens, happens.
And this is the B route right now, right?
Yeah, this is in B route.
Yeah.
At least I think it is.
He rotated his save for this.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yep.
Well, you told me
What?
to make a save.
I know I did.
So
did
that
it?
you could make sure that I
Give
did it
up.
right.
Give up.
Whatever happens.
It's fine. Oh.
Beautiful.
I was wondering something. Wondering what? He came over to the bed, eyes darting around the room. This is probably a little weird, but did you want to spend the night together? Yeah, sure. What, for just, I mean, like the other night? Something like that. Yeah, for sure. He breathed a sigh of relief, waiting until I'd shuffle across to the to make room before he got to the bed with me. If you just want to cuddle, if you just wanted cuddles, then I don't know. I don't think you'd ever need to ask for that. Even after today, after all the talk of trust. Well, I thought about it. Maybe it was better for me to be a bit more cautious about cuddling anyone without a care in the world, just in case someone decided to do to me like they did to Haas in that vision. And just thinking about it made me shudder, and I writhed briefly on the bed as I tried to shake off the bad thoughts. I can go if you want. No, stay, please. I like having you around. Oh, really? Yeah, like, you're fun. If a little confusing at times, but I don't think that's any bad memories I have of you. I don't think there's any bad memories of you, okay. Except from, since we arrived here. Yeah. The smile on his face lessened slightly, a worry starting to sink, but in again. Wait, back in again. Hey, Haas, you're still the same person, right? Everything I know about you is the same. Yeah, why? I don't know. Just wondering, I guess. There was a feeling in my chest I couldn't quite place, something that made me happy and scared at the same time. Sometimes that seemed to happen and more the longer I spent around Haas. What's your favorite color? Black. Why? That's not a color, that's a shade. And what's your favorite food? Is there a reason I'm getting quizzed suddenly? He shifted next to me, enough to sit up and stretch out. I just like knowing that what I know is the same. It's consistent. Like your love for all of us. I felt my cheeks go red, and not really sure if I liked what he was insinuating, although he wasn't wrong. Maybe. Only a maybe. Huh. Well, I guess I might have to try harder then. Oh. As I struggled to think of the best way to answer that, he got up and switched off the light, returning to the bed and rolling me over. Haas? Yeah? Thanks for putting up with me. Same to you. Okay, that's kind of cute. He cuddled into me, playing as the big spoon and nuzzled into the back of my head. The scent of coconut and lime was relaxing and made me think of the beach, somewhere warm and sunny, somewhere much happier than here. But even then, I wasn't that unhappy. Something about Haas was keeping me sane in a strange way. Before long, I was drifting off, leaning back into Haas's front as he cuddled me. Okay. I looked at Haas, who was already sitting up, looking tense. Haas? He gave me a quick look over his shoulder before looking back at the door. Did you hear? The sentence wasn't even entirely out of my mouth when I heard it. The unmistakable sound of someone screaming from somewhere in the mansion. Haas got up soon after, heading for the door. Assuming he was going to check it out, I followed suit. Oh, this is the fun time. I made a beeline for the bookshelf, pulling the two books to the passage and heading down into the dark. Oh, that didn't happen last time. I was thoroughly on autopilot, retracing my steps from when Haas had showed me the way here the first time. Making my way down to the lower level of the library, I stopped by the table that we'd had our chat. I wasn't sure if I was going to blame Oswin for what had happened, or if I was just wanted information. And I looked over to the vault door, though. It was open. Huh? There was nothing stopping me from moving forward, so I pulled the door open and headed on inside. The hallway was dark, and it felt musty. How often did this get used, anyway? I felt my hand on the wall, on one of the walls, as I made my way down, feeling for a light switch or something to make my walk easier. I must have put more weight than intended on part of the wall, as I felt something give, and fondling the dark for what I'd found, I gripped the handle of a large door, opening it carefully. What lights that were on gave me a soft glow, ambience more than anything else. I wasn't really sure where I was until my eyes adjusted a bit more. A hunched figure sat in a chair against the far wall, lit only from the dull glow from the monitor. But there was that familiar smell again. I thought I'd escaped it from the foyer, but it was here too. Edging forward, I reached out to the hunched figure sitting at the desk. But when I spun the chair around, it was just as I thought. Oswin had been killed too. The knife was still sticking out of his chest, but everything was dry. He hadn't been killed recently. Okay. Either way, he wasn't behind what Sal did, but it was one less person we could rely on for help. I left him there, and there was no point in moving him, and to be honest, Roswell and Dean took priority. I could deal with his body later. The fuck did you go? Ty snapped me out of my daze by grabbing me and yelling at me at point blank. The next moment, he was hugging me, sighing out and growling at the same time. Nowhere. Sorry, Ty. I could hear the hollow tone in my own voice, a tiredness I had forgotten I was capable of. He grabbed me by the arm and started leading me out of the conservatory and back downstairs. You had me worried. Ty wasn't being gentle, dragging me down the stairs and holding on to me, almost as insurance, as I wouldn't go a walkabout? Okay. Seriously, why did both of you run off on me? Sorry, I just thought... You shut your mouth, and stay where I can keep an eye on you. Hoss, are the cops coming or what? No reception. After I went outside to check, I tried a few times in different spots, but nothing. No signal anymore. Fuck, the hell are we supposed to do? At this point, we looked over to... Orlando, who was starting to stir, picking himself up slowly off the ground. Duh, what happened? As he was rubbing his head, his eyes caught sight of Dean and Roswell, still on the ground a ways, his eyes widening slowly, as he came to realize what had happened. No! He cried. His cries delved into wails and sobs as he turned away from the sight. Let's get you outside, huh? He helped Orlando up, and the pair of them headed towards the backyard, leaving Tyson and I alone in the foyer. His grip didn't budge, though, and it started to get painful from how he had pinned me in place. Ty? The fuck were you thinking?
Pin me, Ty.
Yeah, it's... Terrible. Wandering off like that. I was just trying to. And what if, something fucked up happened to you, huh? You saw what just happened. I know, His voice was lower to a snarl, gripping me even tighter as he got up to my face. Get your ass in gear, we're going outside. I stole a glance at Dean and Roswell, but found that my eyes were glued to them. Ty grip loosened off, so I could wander closer, but I crossed half the distance before the smell of blood hit me hard, and my eyes found its way to the growing pool of blood they lay in. Hey. I didn't respond, taking this all in with some degree of fascination? Fascination? Yeah. That couldn't have been healthy, if anything. The sight was so surreal that it just didn't seem real to begin with. Then Tyson wandered over. He turned me around carefully, easing me away from the scene. Much in the same way that Hoss and Orlando had left the foyer, we followed suit into the backyard. Oh, okay. All of that was, like, a little bit different. Okay. Where would we go? Is there anywhere we could run to? I eased myself away from Orlando to almost collapse backwards. I wanted to scream. I wanted to lash out at something. All the emotions I was feeling at once was very quickly taking its toll. What do we do? Okay. Oh yeah, the trek back to the main road. It's what? It's gone. I looked between Ty and Orlando confused, but it seemed as though both of them were just as confused as me. It can't just be gone. Where did it go? Where'd what go? Oh, the main road. Okay, yeah. If I had to guess, that explosion we heard blew up part of the road along with causing a landslide. Either way, and getting over the rubble seems possible, but... Put on some pants, Orlando. Well, I'm not spending the night outside. I'll sleep in the greenhouse if I need to. But we'll have to go inside at some point, right? And how long will that be? Tomorrow. That doesn't help us right now, and it's dark. Plus, it's, well... fine. If I moved the bodies... You'll move the body? You'll move them? Fuck it, I don't care. Having them just there is just... He trailed off, and gesturing to the space before him, although the meaning wasn't lost on us. Okay. I looked at Ty, who seemed reluctant to move, but upon looking at me, he snapped his head forward. He was stiff, marching towards the door and out of sight. And so we waited. Before long, he appeared, looking disheveled and bloody, but the deed had been done. Okay. It didn't take long for me to pass out, given the stress and exhaustion, running my body ragged. The last thing I remembered seeing was Haas watching me with a look of worry, one I was barely able to return before things went black. Okay. Now we're in Path D. Okay. Aw, gotta yell at Sal. Yeah, feels bad. Dave, take the damn bread and eat it. Pushy much? He's just in shock, so ease off. I don't think that's it, is it? What? You love him, is that why? The fuck? I mean... Yes?
Yes. Yes, we love
it. Always. That was never in question. Shit, yeah. Can't just leave him like that, huh? Glad to know I wasn't the only one considering that. Not being able to get in contact with the police or an ambulance makes dealing with this harder. Burial is out too, I'm guessing. Of course. I'm not just going to leave them here. No one's leaving anyone behind, Dave. But we gotta do something about them, right? Throw them in the freezer. So, when we're done here, let's head on down. We have to walk down there again? Well, I'm not going down there alone. Fuck it. Fuck if I'm gonna leave Dave alone with any of you either. Excuse me. What? You expect me to spell it out for you? After what we saw last night, far as I know, either of you could be looking to do Dave in next. He's our friend too. Why would we want to kill him? Yeah, reckon you could have said the same about Sal. I looked between the others, feeling tense. Tyson was being protective, which was nice in that it put me at ease, but at the same time, he was starting to frighten me a little. Well, I guess we better go, huh? Okay. I gave Haas a look. Frowning, he returned it briefly, knowing where my mind was at, but all he did was shake his head. We're gonna chase after Tyson, because I'm predictable.
It ain't much of a choice. I mean, come on.
Comfort Orlando over chasing after Tyson? Like, we're chasing after Tyson. The house was quiet. When we arrived here for the first time, we looked upon the house with awe, excited to be here, but now... Well, we're back. Do you think Sal is around here somewhere? Fucker probably has holed up somewhere. If he isn't still in the woods. Doesn't matter all that much. Okay. Together we paused as we got closer, my eyes following it into the adjoining room. Taking Orlando's hand in mine, we entered the sitting room. The scent of blood was thick in the air, strong enough to blot out anything else. Oh yeah, this whole scene. Orlando followed behind, and the two of us stopped next to Roswell first. Between the two of them, he was the one place closer to the door, but making that walk felt like I'd walked a mile to reach him from where I'd entered the room. That's just Roswell. I looked through him towards the rest of the house, wondering if I could pick up Sal's scent somewhere to see where he could have gone, given he wasn't at the main road. No telling if he was even here, but if he was, I'd find him. I'm going to start by searching the pool. I think Haas would have checked there first, given that's where he spent a lot of time. If he's not there, I'll come back inside after checking the greenhouse.
Okay, just be careful, okay? I'll stay here, I think. Maybe hope Haas stops by so I can stick close to someone. No offense, but I don't feel like confronting Sal right now.
I look away from him, towards the back door. He took the chance to take my hand, giving it a gentle squeeze. Okay. Haas? Hey. Wait, where's Orlando? Inside. What are you going to do? What are you doing here? I found Sal. He's at the pool, sort of just moping. Hasn't moved from that spot in a while. Good. As I made to walk past him, Haas grabbed me by the arm. Where are you going? To talk.
You sure that's a good idea?
I need to do it.
Well, alright. Just be careful, alright? Don't get too close.
I grunted at him, pulling my arm free and continuing towards the pool. Okay.
After Roswell's warning yesterday, it did it. Was that?
We're gonna make a save there, okay?
Yeah, definitely do that. Which one we going for first?
We'll forgive him. We'll forgive him. I don't feel like telling him to kill himself right now.
Not yet.
Not yet. We filed into the dining room behind Tyson, although it seemed he'd moved on ahead to the kitchen without us.
He's not wasting any time, is he?
Seems that way, huh?
Does he have does he seem off to anyone else? More than usual, Tyson sort of way.
I've picked up on it too. I don't know what his problem is, but maybe this is just how he copes. It's like he's turned into Leo from from the end of Leo's route. It's amazing. But ignoring Dave like that was odd. I felt relieved that I wasn't the only one that noticed it, but there still wasn't a reason why. Do you think I did something wrong?
Did you?
No, not that I know of.
Okay then. Maybe he'll tell us during this meeting, or at the very least tell Dave in private. He might not be aware that he's doing it at all.
As we stepped into the kitchen, Tyson was pacing. He took a couple more steps before noticing we were there, shoving something quick into his pocket.
Sure, we're good to just start. We don't need to prepare anything or... Nothing to prepare. We just want to get this over with.
Well,
all right.
Okay.
I hate to bring this up as our next topic, but what do we do about Dean and Roswell?
As in...
Oh, right, well, we still have the plan from this morning with the freezer. There's no better plan than that.
Best we can do is to just hope that the food doesn't go bad, right?
It should be fine, hopefully. We don't need any other real alternatives, unless we want to put up with the smell.
He trailed off, leaving the comment there. Haas?
What's up?
Is the reason why we don't have the phone reception because of, you know? He shook his head.
I couldn't end up I couldn't end up repairing it, remember? We could cut the crap and just say what it is already. It's a radio jammer. Stops phone signals and stuff. Wait, so would that be the reason why we can't contact the police? That our phones aren't working? Better fucking not, because if it is...
Tyson's eyes bulged as he looked at Haas. I'm gonna move my mic real quick. Well, it's a damn good thing that I can't repair it.
But if you couldn't repair it, then why doesn't the phone work?
Maybe someone else has one. That said, if they had one, that'd cause a whole bunch of other problems.
Like what?
Well, these things block signals, right? Anything from phones, sometimes radios, and, well...
Bombs? Fuck off. Is that why the bomb went off?
But wouldn't one of those jammers, like, stop it from going off? As I trudged forward, I reached the base of the stairs before stopping, thinking things over. I felt numb to what was happening. Was I that selfish that I felt like someone should be taking care of me? Or was I just that far gone that I needed help? That I wanted someone to tell me it was going to be all right? Each step up towards my bedroom was a struggle. My ears trained on trying to hear anything other than my heart pounding in my chest. I collapsed on the bed and promptly passed out. Okay.
Oh, what's your name?
Dave? Why?
What's your dad's name?
His name was David. Why?
And your driver's license has your name on, right? First and last.
Yeah?
Then, we have a fucking problem.
What's the problem? I roll over to look at him, and he seems troubled, a hand shoved into his pocket, seemingly thinking it over.
Probably best if I show you.
He pulled something out of his pocket. It seemed like a card of some sort, and pushed it into my hand.
Don't freak out.
As he eased his hand away, I sat up, looking at the card he handed to me. My eyes widened as I realized what it was. A chill ran down my spine. In my hand was a driver's license, a familiar face in the picture accompanying it. Parts of it seemed nicked and chewed on, but otherwise everything down to the name was legible. But it can't be.
You didn't bring this with you, yeah?
No.
Then how the fuck did it get here, Dave?
I ran my finger over the embossed name. Each letter of the name makes it clear that I wasn't imagining it. I don't know.
Well, unless there's another family using your last name that are also hyenas, then something's fucked up is going on.
But what do we do?
The fuck if I know. But if I know, I'm not trusting any of the other fucks with you.
Why not? They're my friends, and... Ty took both my hands, looking me in the eye.
You're the only family I have left now. I'm not about to let you get offed, just because someone decided to take advantage. Double check that license again, and if you're absolutely sure it's real, I'm telling you what we're gonna do.
I flicked the card over, and once Ty had eased off, looking over the details again. David Holloway, male, 5'10". It even had our address along with his full birthday. Without a doubt, it was my dad's license. Ty, it's real, but I don't know why it's here.
That's what I thought. I saw something scurry around with it before, and it ran off after dropping it. But that means he was here, right?
Was. Do you think he could still be alive?
I don't think so.
But how else would it have gotten here? We should at least search, right? Ty grumbles, shaking his head.
If you want to search, I'll give you a day. 1 day. But after that, we're getting out of here. Just you and me. Fuck everyone else.
But Ty,
No buts. No buts. I'm keeping you safe. You may hate me for it, but I'm not risking you dying over it.
even if I don't want to go?
You think you could stop me?
I shrank into myself, knowing that I couldn't even on a good day. My words came out as meek and feeble, and I nodded while I kept my gaze averted. Okay.
Still, want some space for now. Hungry? It's way past dinner.
Admittedly, I wasn't all that hungry, especially now after seeing Dad's face on his license. I was just as scared, though, wondering what was going to happen in the next couple of days.
Well, if you want something to eat, I'll be around. Let me know and I'll, take you down to the kitchen and fix something up for you.
There isn't leftovers?
You think I'm gonna let you eat what the others made? Fuck that.
I whined, thinking back to Orlando's cooking. Tyson's cooking was functional, if a little bland outside of a couple things, paling in comparisons to Orlando's skills.
Rest up. We'll talk later.
He left the room without waiting for a reply from me, the door clicking gently behind him gently. I looked at the license Ty had found, wondering how it had gotten here. There was one person alone who would have known anything about it, and he was dead now. Not that I'd told anyone about that, but I knew one place that might hold some answers. Ah, cool. The place was empty, and I let out a breath I had apparently been holding. This was my secret for now, at least until I had answers. Maybe Dad was alive, maybe he wasn't, but there was a chance, right? If this was Oswin's house and Dad had been here, there had to be something in the way of a clue, right? I clutched Dad's license tight in my pocket as I stepped into the dark. I'm coming, Dad. I breathed in and raced forward, entering the library and throwing caution to the wind. Everything was how I'd left it, and I made my way down to the door and stepped through it to the corridor beyond. But I almost retched the moment I did, the smell of something bad hitting my nose. It could only be one thing, and it was suffocating the air out of any other scent. It branding my nose even after I covered it with my arm. The smell got worse the moment I stepped in, my eyes darting to the counter where Oswin lay, the knife still in his chest, blood dried, and his body already pale and rigid. Light from the computer was still casting a sickly glow about the place, long shadows cast along the floor. There has to be something here.
There's nothing for you here.
I froze, eyes darting around looking for the voice. Familiar, robotic, and something I associated with Oswin when he spoke to me through this intercom.
Leave.
Who's there? Very quickly, the shadows in the room moved, the sound of scurrying starting and coming to a sudden stop.
You should not have come here, and not after what you did to my master.
That's when I spotted the beady eyes watching me from the desk next to Oswin's body, the ragged body of something hunched over, a large metal collar bound to its neck with a speaker attached to it. I gulped, looking at the rat as it stared at me, a tail whipping about behind it.
Are you listening?
The tone of his voice changed suddenly, although it kept most of its anger.
Get out.
You're a rat, and you're talking.
I hope you're happy, David Holloway Jr.
What? Happy? No, I
hope you're happy that you killed my master, because now...
A rattled laughter came out of the speaker attached to his collar. The rat's whole form shifting and shuddering as it convulsed in glee.
Because now, I'm going to take everything from you.
I took a step back. A chill ran down my spine, and the scent of Oswin's body hitting me again. As much as I wanted to run, I froze in place, staring at the rat now, laughing once more through the speaker.
Your lifeline is cut. You're way out, Limited.
Wait, you're way out, yeah.
You're going to die in this place without even knowing why.
How do you know my name? Who are you? I cried out in vain as the rat backed away into the shadows, disappearing entirely. He was gone before I could lunge at him and stop him from escaping. My heartbeat sped up, and I looked around, backing up towards the door to the lab, just as my hand reached the door to... the lights flickered briefly before cutting out entirely. It was dark, a deep and heavy darkness that I was left in, dark enough that I couldn't see the hand in front of my face, and it was making it hard to breathe. I began to run, tripping over my feet as I got back to the library. Collapsing to the floor, I scrambled towards the table, turning back to look at the door thrown open. I wondered if something was going to follow me. But nothing came. The only sound echoing in the room was the sound of my heart beating frantically in my chest, loud enough to drown out my breathing as I panicked. Renoe, I'm doing Path D today, so... Because we had caught up with Route B, so I'm doing Path D right now. Had I just hallucinated that rat talking? Had what it said just been an empty threat because I was stressed? That's all it had been, right? Stress? I laughed, and laughed harder. Hard enough to double over and clutch my stomach when it hurt to breathe. But I couldn't keep it going. I delved down into empty sobs soon enough. I shut my eyes, trying to block it all out. Block everything out. Maybe I could fix this somehow. Maybe I could go to the vault and try to open it. Shaking, I pulled myself up and continued back towards the conservatory. Empty and quiet, light filtering in from the outside, even if it wasn't all that much. My eyes had adjusted somewhat, but I felt around in the darkness in case I ran into something. And then I got to the base of the stairs and looked around. It was still quiet. I half expected Tyson to be around, or Haas, or Orlando, anyone. My attention went to the door leading into the sitting room, where Dean and Roswell were the last time I saw them. Had they been moved to the freezer? Were they still there? I hugged myself as I hung my head, heading towards the basement. When I reached the vault, I already knew something was wrong. I shivered, cold. There was a ringing in my ears from just how quiet it was. But that paled in comparison to what I'd come to realize. The vault was offline. Pressing the buttons did nothing. The display held nothing on it either. My lifeline had been cut. The rat had followed through on his threat, somehow, and I didn't understand. Sure, my friends called me Dave, but that was just easier than having to always question if they were talking to me or my dad. It wasn't exactly something that came up when introducing myself, and this was the first time I'd met this rat. I didn't know what was going on, or even why. Before I realized I was moving, I was on autopilot back to my room. Okay.
I don't care.
Well, you should. Orlando would. Haas would. I thought you cared about me too, but... He grabbed me roughly by the shoulders, pulling me back.
Oh, yeah. And where were those fucks all afternoon? Have they waited by your door, making sure no fucker is going to get to you?
I winced as he yelled at point blank at my face. His breath stank, and I whined the closer he got.
Neither of them came by once. Didn't even try to check in if you were okay. But I did.
I whined more, and he shoved me roughly back onto the bed, approaching and pinning me down. The distant sound of thunder rolling in hinted at the coming storm. but it was being drowned out by the sound of Tyson's breath and the heart pounding in my chest.
Stop fighting me.
He stared me down, intense but not angry. Or if it was, he eased back to the point I couldn't see it anymore. Had the others had enough of me, stopped caring, that had to be it, right? Otherwise, what Tyson said wouldn't be true. I breathed in slowly, falling limp under Tyson. Okay. That's when he eased up, holding me on the bed, but now with enough force to keep himself propped up. I was quiet, words coming out hoarse and uncertain. I'll stop fighting.
Good. We'll spend tomorrow getting ready, and you can say goodbye or whatever, and then I'm taking you home.
He arranged us both in bed, and he held me against him. Most times he had done this, I'd felt safe. It was familiar. But something about this felt wrong. I was scared even huddled up against him, scared of everything going on, or scared of Tyson. I wasn't too sure of. I had been scared of Sal, and now I was wondering if I was more scared of other things, having spoken to him earlier. Tyson had said nothing, just lying there and holding me to him as the rain started to roll in. I just hoped that things would be better in the morning. Okay. 12. My eyes went across to the door, leading outside. Out there was Sal potentially, or at least I assumed he'd still be there from how he was the day before. Granted, the thought of that rat in the lab made my skin crawl, more so than the thought of Oswin slumped there in his chair, dead. Although, just thinking of that made my stomach churn. Stepping out into the morning air, it was cold, the grass still slightly glistening from the storm the night prior. But for how cold it was crisp and clean, making me sigh out and making my head seem clearer somehow. Wandering over to the pool, I eased open the gate, trying to be quiet, looking around. It didn't take long to find Sal huddled up in the corner, looking somewhat uncomfortable. Sal? He stirred as I approached, shuddering and sighing out before looking at me briefly.
Morning.
Have you really been out here all night? You look cold. He shuddered. Yeah, he shrugged off the small blanket he had with him, seemingly it not accomplishing much in the way of keeping him warm through the night.
I have. Orlando came out last night to give me a blanket, but he didn't say much, just brought this blanket and left.
What did he say? Sal sighed out again, scratching and groaning as his joints stretching. That's what that is. As his joints cracked.
Not a lot. He gave me the blanket, saying that it was cold outside. Then, struggling for a bit with wanting to say something, and then went back inside.
Oh, well, at least he didn't want you dead. Okay.
No, I suppose he didn't. But he's not exactly happy with what happened either. In a way beyond the obvious.
That seems like a good thing, right? Like it couldn't have been worse. Sal rose to his feet. He was shaky, bracing himself on the wall while he rubbed his eyes.
My best friend is dead. Tyson wants me dead. I killed 2 people and barely remember. While I acknowledge that things could be worse, that doesn't make me feel better, Dave.
Then what would?
Truthfully, I'm cold. My appetite is shot, but warming up would be appreciated.
You couldn't take a hot shower? You still had your towel on out here, right?
I'd honestly rather be inside. I don't feel so well being out here all night.
A cold?
Potentially, although I'll wear it as part of my punishment for what I've done. But I'd rather be inside if I'm being honest.
Well, I don't think that there's really much anyone could do about it if you wanted to. We're all stuck on the mountain as it is.
What?
Yeah, when we went, we went to check the main road. A bomb went off. The road here is covered with rubble, so that's not a way out. Wait, that's not a way off. Okay.
Oh, well, I see. Then Dean and Roswell.
They're not now. Wasn't the time to fill him in on what our plans are for the body, for the bodies, and it wasn't too early for me to really know exactly how to phrase it either. We have plans.
All right, well, if I head inside, would it be fine if I lock myself in my room? Or if you lock my room from outside somehow?
I guess so. I don't know, Sal. The others will need to know. Will need to know, though.
Right, well, it's only fair.
Sal and I trudged back inside slowly. I felt bad that I kept my eyes on him, worried that he might lash out and do something to me with no one else around. But I'd resolved in myself that the person I was speaking to and the person that killed Dean and Roswell were different people. Physically, sure. But mentally, the difference was enough for me to not be scared to be around him. Although he was headed upstairs, I watched quietly as he disappeared out of sight, presumably into his room. Should I have followed? Sure. But I was too relieved to not have been attacked that it didn't occur to me until he was gone. I made some coffee and sat along in the dining room for a bit, letting things run through my head. Today was the day that I had free to tie up loose ends before Tyson dragged me away from here. Would the others be safe? Would we be back to get Dean and Roswell? What about Oswin? Okay. Oh, yeah. Tyson went to say something, but Sal's arrival made everyone pause. Haas and Orlando backed away. Tyson shifted closer to me, and we all just stared at one another.
Hello.
He looked to Orlando, and almost immediately he was greeted with him backing away further. Are you feeling better now, Sal?
Warmer, yes. Thank you.
The fuck? You knew he was outside? Well, yeah. I went out and checked up on him this morning, and Ty grabbed me roughly by the shoulders and shook me.
And what if he did to you what he did to Dean and Roswell?
Yeah, like he's the only one here that's dangerous. Ty spun around and glared at Haas at the other end of the room.
Fuck you!
I flinched with how loud Ty was, yelling so close to me. You're scaring me, Ty. He grunted, putting a hand on my shoulder and squeezing it tight.
Well, it's not gonna matter later.
Yeah, and why's that?
I'm taking Dave and getting out of here.
You can't be serious. You saw the road, didn't you?
Yeah, but there's gotta be a way off the mountain through the woods, and I'm sure as hell not gonna let him get at my younger brother. Fuck that.
He made a show of pointing to Sal as he yelled across the room, his grip on my shoulder staying firm.
My younger brother. Oh.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute.
Is this what you want, Dave?
When I looked at Ty, he was staring down at me. It was that stare he used to give me when he was muscling his way into what he wanted. A stare that I hadn't seen in years, given Dad hadn't put up with it. Tyson was a bully. That's fine. Yeah. The word was out of my mouth before I knew it. A flinch reaction. Tyson seemed smug, happy almost that he'd gotten his way, despite how crestfallen Orlando was by comparison.
Fine. If that's what you want, then that's fine. That's that. Hoss, you can't let them go, can we? Hoss stared me down, looking quickly to Tyson, then back to Orlando. I don't care. Huffing out, Hoss wandered down the length of the dining room. Shoulders stiff, he didn't break stride once as he disappeared into the kitchen. I'm sorry, Orlando. His eyes found mine, and he just sighed out, occasionally shooting Tyson a look before following right behind Hoss. He took a wider berth than Hoss did, eyes locked to the floor, and he too disappeared into the kitchen. Then Sal, that left Sal awkwardly standing there, forgotten for the time being. What did I tell you? Some friends, huh? And the knife. Sal talking, hit a nerve with Tyson, almost bringing him to the point of snarling. The fuck did you say? That what Orlando said when I was arriving. You had a knife. Yeah, what about it? I'm not gonna let Dave get jumped, and I'm sure as hell not gonna leave myself defenseless. Then who's protecting Dave from you? Huh? Big talk from someone who took an axe to 2 people all recently. Ty, that's not... Besides, I thought I told you to drop dead. The fuck are you even here for? Sal was quiet, idly fiddling with his hands as he stood at the other end of the room. Dave is safe with me, aren't you, pup? Tyson put his hand on my shoulder again, and I flinched, a voice crackling slightly as I answered him. Yeah, I'm safe. Okay. Dave, do what you need to do to survive. Do what you think is best, but... I could sense Tyson staring Sal down next to me. The way he postured when he wasn't happy about something, or when he was getting told off. Remember to put your safety first. Sal wandered down the room towards us in the wake of the others. Ty's grip on me tightened when he got closer and eased when we were the only ones left in the room. Okay. Ty grunted, shaking his head. Tell me about the last time. Huh? The last time what? Tell me about the last time I did wrong by you. Oh, that'd be, Ty watched me as I tried to think back. When was the last time he'd really done wrong by me? Did him fighting with Roswell count? If not then, what about eating the rest of the leftover pizza without asking if anyone wanted any? But he did go, buy me a burger, so I got to eat something, and it was a good burger. God, I'm loving this toxic love from Tyson. Selkie! So am I. Just, let me think. And he did, and just watching me as I racked my brain, there wasn't anything immediately coming to mind that wasn't from our childhood. I can't think of anything. I chuckled softly, suddenly feeling guilty. Or maybe it was a conflicted between who I should be loyal to. Trust me, I'm doing this for a few reasons. Getting you somewhere safe is all I care about. Ty threw down a backpack next to me and picked up one for himself. So long as we stick together, we'll be all right. You have my back, I'll have yours. That's nice. I like that. Okay, so this is like mostly the same. But Benson left, didn't he? Ty shrugged, taking the chance to ease upward to look around. Oh, we're gonna meet our friend. Yeah, love Jack. He's great.
I was in over my head, trying to figure out what happened with Oswin anyway. It was better left for someone smarter, not that his rats seemed to like me anyway. Well, liked you this time, you know. Hey, it's alright, breathe. You're safe now. Ah, so does he only say that when you're on his route? Curious. Running to the door, I went to yank it open. Finding it locked, baring my teeth, I struggled more with the handle until I felt it better to start banging at the wooden door with my fists.
When you got back, Haas was freaking out, wondering where Tyson was. Glad you were safe. Annoyed you'd left in the first place.
I clenched my jaw and stayed quiet, suspecting where Sal was going with this.
So after asking if I could help move you, he decided it'd be best to lock you in here so we could figure out what to do now. There was only the four of us left.
I had expected better from Haas, given how close we had seemed to be getting. While here, but all things considered, it seemed as though the whole group dynamic was different now.
I can tell you're upset, but please, think about it for just a second.
Why should I think about anything? He had no right to decide to lock me in here.
Well, yes, but you were about to run out of the house again without telling us why you were back. Or where Tyson is.
I felt a chill run down my spine, thinking back to the last time I'd seen him. Okay. Benson! Oh my god! Okay. Benson? I rubbed my eyes, frowning. I wondered if I was now just seeing things, or if he was actually there. Weren't you on vacation? Just as calmly as he appeared, he approached until he was within arm's reach, placing a hand on my shoulder. He looked me in the eye, sizing me up before speaking in a level tone.
Was it you that discovered his body, my boy?
Huh?
Oswin.
Oh, yeah, I suppose I am. His grip tightened briefly before he eased off, stepping away.
I see.
What are you doing back? I thought you were... we and...
In time. I'm sure you'll no doubt tell me the specifics to things I didn't witness happening as they took place. But I assure you that I'm aware of what's transpired.
Even Sal? Even Tyson?
I'm not in the mood to repeat myself, my boy. Believe me, if I didn't have my orders, I'd be being a lot more rough in finding out what I want to know, regardless of much pain needed to be inflicted to get.
You're threatening me?
Perhaps I'm being more curt than required, but no, at least not intentionally. I'm not overly fond of threats, than when actions achieve a lot more.
I look back towards the forest, finding myself agreeing with that sentiment, insofar as trying to stage a rescue attempt for Tyson, as much as I was unqualified to do it.
Do you intend to go out there by yourself, do you? Least of all, not like that.
And if I am?
Then you're more of a fool than I thought, and far more than what Oswin was worried you'd be.
Gesturing towards the forest, I bared my teeth at him, insulted. Tyson's out there, maybe. Alive or dead, or... I don't know. No one else liked him, but from what I can tell, and no one seems to get that.
Have you told them?
No.
Well, you're welcome to go in by yourself, although you'll quickly find that doing so would be a bad idea. Lest whatever you're worried got to Tyson, gets to you as well.
Okay. The moment I spotted him, I frowned, but remained near the back door, despite Benson continuing further inside.
I wondered where you went.
Yeah, like you really care about after locking me up in my room like that? What? You expect, those of us you, left behind to just let you run off again? It's bad enough that Tyson's not here after what happened to Dean and Roswell. I shifted uncomfortably on the spot, keeping my eyes on Haas. And you think it's fine that Tyson's just somewhere in the woods, maybe hurt, maybe dead, and I'm the only one that seems willing to try and save him? God, you, can you just get over yourself? Sure, I'll wear that locking you in your room was the wrong call. Sue me for wanting to stop a friend of mine from throwing his life away, or at least attempting a second time at it. There are more important things at hand than a petty squabble about what is right and wrong. One fatality is bad enough, let alone multiple. What we need is a proper meeting about our options moving forward, as they're increasingly more limited than limited the longer we waste time. You're right, but Dave, you get we're all in danger, right? You get that none of us want to see each other die, yeah? The longer he looked at me for a reply, the harder it was to keep frowning. Yeah. Normally I'd recommend the sitting room for a chat, but all things considered, I don't think anyone would likely want to talk around the recently departed. Don't worry, they're not there anymore. They're I'd assume that Orlando has moved them into the freezer. What makes you say that? Hardly surprising, as that'd be my first choice given the options. Assuming he'd done so correctly, what food that's in there shouldn't suffer any adverse effects. You're absolutely certain of that? We're not gonna starve? My boy, we have more pressing matters to worry about rather than keeping a couple of meals in the worst scenario. If they're covered and kept far enough away from the food, it will be fine, I assure you. So the plan now is to have a chat. Indeed. Go fetch Orlando and Sal. I'll be imperative that we're all present. Sure, okay. Yeah, I can do that. Haas shot me a quick look before turning back to Benson, giving him a slow nod. Give me a couple minutes and meet in the dining room. Very well. I watched him go, leaving Benson and I to ourselves. Cody, hello! You didn't miss anything. No one's died. Don't worry about it. Benson gave me a look before gesturing for him to follow, leading me into the dining room in silence. Things were tense, and I could see it with how he was standing there, looking out the window with his arms folded. So, at least we're having a meeting, right? Yes, then we'll deal with more pressing things. Like Tyson? Like Oswin. He's already dead. What about Oswin? He's already dead. Benson turned to look at me suddenly, his voice held low and his tone harsh. He may already be dead, but have you not questioned why? Or who? One of your friends killed him, Dave. One of them or you. But you didn't strike me as one capable of murder. Then who? His scowl faded as he looked past me, and I turned to face those that had arrived. Haas and Orlando wandered in, looking between Benson and I, wondering what was to happen. While Sal, meanwhile, slunk into the corner, staying out of the way, but he flashed me quick smile before looking back to the floor. So, we're all here now. Now what? Well, Benson's back. Tyson's missing.
Why is Benson back?
To do his job.
Master Oswin told me to take a vacation. So, true to his word, I did. Although he didn't specify how long said vacation should be. Okay, but has Dave filled you in about what's been happening?
He trailed off, seemingly realizing something.
Wait, how did you get here? How are you back when the road is gone?
Yeah, that's a good question. How long exactly have you been back?
How long? I was on the mountain when Sal...
We all looked to Sal, but he kept his gaze on the floor. We knew what he did, so we turned back to Benson so he could continue. Who I gotta take an axe to? No one. No one, Cody. Don't worry about it. No worries.
Well, we're well aware of how that ended up. But why stay secret? We were...
Okay.
We were worried about what might happen, or what we needed to do, and... Because the truth of the matter is that more happened in my absence that I wasn't about to reveal myself to a would-be assailant. What? Did Dave neglect to tell you what he discovered? Did he not tell you that the master of the house has been found stabbed in his laboratory?
Laboratory? There's a lab here?
Wait, stabbed? When? By who?
Benson's fist tightened. He was keeping his cool, but only barely. This is kind of a Resident Evil style mansion, isn't it? With just like a laboratory underneath and all these secret passages. It is what it is.
Benson, that is something I have yet to discern. I was hoping Tyson would also be here to gauge his reaction, but alas. Wait, so that guy that was here, that Dave said was here, he's dead?
If that's the case, then, as far as who's dead, Roswell, Dean, that guy that lives here, right? Oswin.
And Tyson is an unknown factor, alive or dead. I have an interest. An interest in knowing if he, if he was behind it.
Why? You think he could be?
Well, I would rather be certain.
So what? You're going to go find him in the woods?
What exactly happened out there, anyway? Why are you back?
Tyson and I, we,
You two ran into an, altercation deep in the woods, as far as I could tell. But while I found blood, nothing hinted that it was a fatal, an exchange.
I turned to Benson suddenly, hopeful and with a slight smile on my face. He's alive?
Potentially. No clue as to where he is otherwise, assuming that you didn't injure him. That you didn't injure him yourself. Do you know who the assailant was?
A cool rabbit. I don't know them, but it was a rabbit. It had a bandana around his head.
The rabbit. Knife.
Yeah.
Does that dragon know no subtlety?
Subtle, yeah.
What? Dragon? Me? Your father.
Orlando's dad's here? If my hunch is correct, then we're in a bit of trouble, right?
I'm going to assume, based on that reaction, you're well aware of who the noble family is.
They're like a crime gang, right?
They're... Okay, yeah. They're not good people. I am. And Grandpa was, but that's about it. Memphis Noble has been to this very manor before, but there's no knowing if he's here now. What we can be sure of is that the rabbit Dave saw likely was on his payroll.
Really? Why? Ow.
Memphis latched onto Oswin's lack of affection for them, it seems. Why was Dad here? He was meeting Oswin in regards to making a purchase, although Oswin promptly told him in no uncertain terms that his greed would not be sated. What was he buying? What was he wanting to buy? Medicine? The vault. What? The thing downstairs? Like, what's behind the door, or... No. The device that thus far has been keeping, well, that Dave has been interacting with. But why? What would, he want with it? A do-over, right? A second chance? Do you know something the rest of us don't, Orlando? Just the occasional thing he says to me, that he wished certain things. Like what? Orlando sniffed and shook his head quickly. Rubbing his eyes, Haas placed a hand on his shoulder and sighed out, looking between Benson and I. But more importantly, he sent a rabbit to come and collect, right? It would seem so. Why can't we just give it to him? Oswin made it abundantly clear that it wasn't to be handed over to him. And, by extension, I intend to keep it that way, starting with finding out who was responsible for his passing. Okay, but what should we do? I mean, if the rabbit guy works for your dad, then can't you just call him off? Haas. Perhaps I may be reading too far into this. No, I don't think my dad particularly cares what I want, or if I end up just, you know, in the way. Dead, Dave. Am I wrong, Orlando? He nodded slowly, whimpering as his whole body quaked. So, as we have it, there's a likely chance that he's still in danger, exclusive of whom, of Tyson, whom is still potentially in the woods breathing. So we're going to save him. I will be going to assess things, and I would rather that you come with, yes. Wait, but where does that leave us? What's going to stop that guy coming here while you guys are out in the woods? As of right now, nothing. But it's imperative that you do not risk yourselves defending something that is mine to protect. Stay upstairs, find a way to stay safe, and await our return. Sal cleared his throat, and we looked over to him, slowly stepping away from the wall. If you two are going into the woods again, I want to come too. Really now. Why, Sal? I feel that if Tyson needs rescuing, then it's something I can potentially do to, It will potentially be dangerous. You could do just as well keeping the others safe by remaining behind. Sal looked over to Haas and Orlando, who kept their gaze elsewhere. I suppose. The decision is yours. You are welcome to come, and extend an extra set of eyes won't hurt. An extra pair, but okay. Sal looked to me, making eye contact and nodding once. Dave, look out for me. Looked out for me, so the least I can do is look out for him in his hour of need. Thanks, Sal. We might need the help. Right. Well, if that's sorted. There's much left to do, so I'd recommend that you all prepare to be mentally and otherwise, for the next couple of days. I nodded slowly, turning to leave, but found a hand on my shoulder, easing me back. Follow me around the other way, if you would, Dave. The rest of the group left into the foyer, where, while I followed Benson into the kitchen, then from there onto the corridor, but we didn't follow it to the direction of the rest of the group.
The wall just opened up. I don't know how how he did it, but he pushed me through and plunged us into the darkness soon after. Benson? Stay close. Squinting in the darkness, I wonder where we were, or where we were going. It was hard to even place that, just how far down we were, but but if I had to guess, it was the basement. But then I could smell it, the taint on the air that almost made me gag and stumble in the dark. Benson didn't seem to break stride even once, continuing until he came to an abrupt stop. We shall not linger longer than we need to. This is... Benson punched something into a keypad into the wall, and the door opened up to give us entry into the lab. The smell hit me hard, and I almost threw up. The room was lit in the pale light I remembered, and almost untouched as was Oswin's body, just how I remembered it. I whined, covering my mouth before my ears caught the sound of scurrying. My eyes went to the desk, and I found a set of red eyes piercing back at me in the gloomy light. What do you want? He sounded almost sad, the taunting, almost gleeful tone he had when I first discovered the body no longer there. Who killed Oswin, Thanatos? I looked between the two of them, watching as the rat slowly pulled his gaze away from me to stare at Benson. Why do you want to know? He gestured to me lazily, not shifting his gaze once. It's too late to do anything about it. The vault is offline too, so unless you want to integrate, Junior, you're wasting your time. Wait, interrogate, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, gun. Okay. In a flash, Benson had pulled a gun from... Oh my god. I didn't choke on my cough drop, I swear. I'm not that embarrassing.
At least you're alive. It's all good. Doesn't look like Thanatos is gonna be alive for much longer.
No, just shoot him. It'll be funny. Benson! Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Junior. Slowly, Thanatos wandered forward and placed his forehead against the barrel of the gun. Eyes still locked on Benson. Go on, then. Shoot me. You know you. Damn it, Josh. This is supposed to be tense. Look. There's the threat of death here, and there's a threat of death for me in real life. Doesn't that make it more interesting? Go on, then. Shoot me. You should know that I can't die anyway. You can't die? Why? He shrugged. And, if the light wasn't, hard to make it see, I would have sworn that he smirked for a split second. Can't be a god of death if I follow the same rules, can I? Tell me this. Do you know who killed Oswin? It was the first time Thanatos looked back at me, sizing me up. He didn't say anything to me, instead turning back to Benson. I can do one better. You already know who did it. Just as lazily as before, he gestured across to me before continuing. And so does he. What? Who? Tell me who, you miserable rodent. Like, guns and cough drops are not the same. Says you. Cough drops are just as lethal. No. No. I meant it when I said that David would die here without knowing why. So I have nothing left to say to you. I cover my ears as the gunshot echoed through the room. It might not have been loud, but it was piercing through that. Piercing enough that it hurt. My only relief was that the ringing didn't last long. As I opened my eyes, Thanatos was gone, and Benson was putting the gun back into its holster. Did you just... I never liked that rat. I never liked that rat. Such an unnatural creature. But I looked at where he'd been standing on the desk and followed the line across to the wall, where, shrouded in the dark, I could make out his limp body. Did he need to die? Benson grabbed me roughly before pointing at Oswin, still slumped in his chair. Did Oswin? It did Roswell? Did Dean? The life of a rat isn't worth much in comparison. But he was just... His master died. Not that one. He was just sad. Benson eased off, looking at me sternly. While I can emphasize in the most literal of sense, Dave, trust in that we no longer need to be here. One last thing. What is it? Who do you think it is? If Thanatos knew who, and thinks you knew, but says that I also know, then that's a statement. Oh my god. That's hard. The implication is that it would be you, given the circumstances. You discovered the body. You are here now. It would fit the rat's behavior to try and antagonize the situation on his way out. But I didn't, I swear! Which is all the more reason why I'm curious as to why that rat thought he knew better. Granted, I've had my hunch on who did this. But I'd rather check all avenues before committing to accusations. Is that safe? None of us are safe anymore, Dave. Not until we get off this mountain. He guided me out of the laboratory in a hurry. The smell starting to register again in my nose. Damn, everyone wants to manhandle Dave in this route. It's true, Selkie, it's true. Soon enough, Benson had guided me out of the hidden part of the house and back through the back through another door connected to the basement. I winced as my eyes adjusted to the light, with Benson snapping out of the passage behind me and closing the door behind us. Well, that was informative. Was it? A loose end was tied up, Dave. While unfortunate that the Volt is now not a tool we can use moving forward, it was proven to be less than reliable anyway. You're sure? Like, was it... what if it was my fault? That I just used it wrong? Oh, undoubtedly. You missed your opportunity, Dave. If that device was the key to saving your friends at all, then yes, you failed to use it. It would constitute something of as your fault. Damn. I was stunned, a whine coming out of my throat as Benson seemed to trail off. I didn't. I was only trying to... Failing to operate a broken machine does not make you the one at fault, Dave. Even then, you say you've seen something. Who says, who's to say that you could have done anything about it? What? I don't understand. What I mean is that what's done is done, and there's no sense worrying about it. Maybe it's your fault, or maybe it isn't. But this isn't the reality we find ourselves in. He reached out and put a hand on my shoulder, giving it a reaffirming squeeze. And if in this reality, there is still your friend Tyson to potentially save, no. I frown, suddenly resolved in the reminder that things weren't all lost, not just yet. Okay, so what now? That's a good question. I'd say mentally preparing for what's likely to happen tomorrow is a good start. Meanwhile, I shall source out
source you out a weapon. Weapon? I'll need one? Would you rather go into the woods underprepared? At the very least, I think taking something beyond your flashlight would bring you a sense of security. Maybe. You don't think I'd actually need to use anything, right? I'd say that is something you should seriously consider, knowing full well that it's very real. It's a very real possibility. But why? I didn't do anything to them. You're the son of a police officer, and they are lackeys of a childish brute with a gun and a cigar fetish. Oh, 10 out of 10. I doubt they'd care who you are if you get in the way, and and as it stands, that's likely the ones in the way of retrieving Tyson. And we're in the way of them getting the Volt. Well, more technically I am, but that's fine. It is the duty charged to me by Oswin. May he rest in peace. What did he charge you to do? Benson sighed, shaking his head. There's little harm in telling you specifically now that Oswin is dead, but quite simply, it was to protect you and keep you safe. What? I did a double take, not registering what he'd said right away. The longer I waited for him to clarify, with nothing else said on the matter, the more it sank in. You're to protect me? But why? Oswin believed that, well, I wouldn't say danger, but he believed you were at risk. From what? I mean, I just... I'm sure you doubt. I'm sure, no doubt, he mentioned, about someone being marked for death. No, it couldn't be me. And why not? I haven't been in danger. I've, done nothing that could have ended up with, me dying. No, I wouldn't say that. Death can loom around any given corner at any time. Not to mention, I'm very good at my job. I grimace, giving him a suspicious look. My mind immediately thought about how Oswin was dead, and that he'd let that happen. Come now, Dave. Come now, Dave. Would you really make fun of a grieving old man? I didn't say anything. You didn't need to. Just trust that Oswin's Oswin's wants. Something I wish to fulfill. Even the most self-sacrificing of ones. All of them. He started to guide me again up the stairs towards the foyer. We can get more into it tomorrow. I have to find you and Sal appropriate our armaments if we're going into the woods, and you do well to spend some time reflecting. I don't need time to think about it. Dave, I'm not going to lie to you. Going into the woods is dangerous. Even with me trying to keep you safe, there's a very real possibility that you may end up facing the end of the road. So please, consider if it's really worth it. I didn't need to consider anything. I already knew that if Tyson was still out there, or even if he wasn't, I needed to find him. And when I got back to my room, I started to have my doubts. What if he was dead? Could I face seeing his body? Hours started to tick by while I moved stuff about my room in an effort to prepare for something I had no idea on how to. If I couldn't, what if I couldn't? What if I broke down right when I was in the most danger? When then my mind started to wander towards my own life. If it was worth potentially losing in pursuit of saving someone who might already be gone. But I knew my answer the moment I decided to head downstairs to tell Benson if I was ready. I came down the stairs. I looked around for Benson, or really anyone, given I hadn't seen them since our meeting.
My eyes fell onto the back door in the outside world, and I felt a cold chill run down my spine. Okay. Oh. Parting the trees was him, and I immediately took a few steps back. I trembled in front of him, memories of the last time I saw Tyson flashing through my head. Okay.
If you have come for the vault.
Benson turned to look at me, slowly nodding once, but I couldn't place his expression.
Then I suppose I have no choice but to comply.
Great! If that, is what I'd say if I just gone and brought the dumb mutt along with me. So tell you what, you bring whatever, you've got to, and we'll make the trade at the watermill. Sound good?
Fine, but I'm not
Tripsing?
Rapesing?
Traipsing?
Yeah,
Is that what that word is?
I think so.
Okay. I'll believe you, Ian. Around in the dark, like a fool. Keep the boy you have hostage safe for the night, and you'll have what you're after come morning. Hostage is such a strong word.
Take it or leave it.
Fine, but your terms were keep him safe enough, but he's already roughed up a bit. What's a little more? Don't you hurt him. Feisty, huh? Well, I already got what I wanted. Maybe if I'm feeling nice, he won't lose more than an ear. Or something overnight. Jack spurns, sprung back to his knife, swiping it off the ground and twirling it in his fingers before flexing his hand around the handle. Don't keep me waiting too long. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'll be sleeping all that soundly tonight, even knowing Tyson's alive.
It's a small victory, Dave. Once we're told for now, all things considered.
I said told? Once we'll take. That's it for now, yeah. I got there. Oh, day 14. That's the last day. Yeah. We spent a few moments just sizing each other up, the silence making me shuffle uncomfortably on the spot. So Jack over here has Tyson? Maybe.
Today's the day, Dave. I hope you're ready.
I am.
I'll be plain. Going into the woods will be dangerous.
Tyson's out there. I can't leave him with them. Benson grunted a sound of affirmation without breaking eye contact.
Come with me.
He led me to the dining room and sat me down, leaving me soon after to head into the kitchen. A few minutes later, he was back again with some tea and plain bread, sitting it before me. But it's duck season? Oh my god. It's wabbit season. I looked to him, and he dropped himself neatly into a chair nearby, sitting upright and staring off at the opposite wall as if he were waiting.
Eat. You're going to need it.
I'm not all that hungry.
Worry will do that. You'll have more focus if you have something in your stomach. If you're still, intent on following me out there.
I am. The first bite was hesitant, and I stopped there, opting instead to have some tea.
Also, you'll need this.
He slides me, he slid across the table a knife in a leather sheath. My stomach lurched when I saw the familiar handle. That?
Oswin's.
But it was
in his chest, yes. It will do us more good in your hands, given no doubt you'll feel safer heading in armed.
Looking at the knife carefully, I had to agree, although I didn't like where it had come from. Don't worry, it's like the knife you find where you get given in Mother 3, you know? The bad news is where I found the knife. Yeah, it was bad. I'd offer you one of the knives in the kitchen instead, although the blade on Oswin's is more robust and has a guard to keep your fingers safe. Right.
Excuse me.
Oh, hello.
I couldn't help but overhearing that part. That part about kitchen knives and safety. Indeed, I wasn't about to let Dave head in exposed. In fact, neither do I intend the same for you, if you're still joining us. I will. Good. In which case, you're best to take this. A revolver? It will fit in your hand better than it does mine, and you're less in a state than Dave is. Right. I watched as Sal took the revolver that was slid towards him across the table, holding it delicately but firmly as this all the same. If it's all the same to you both, I'll excuse myself here. Meet me within the hour outside, so we can head off.
Setting the gun back down onto the table, Sal took Benson's chair and just waited. For what? I don't know. But I eventually slid my bread over to him.
Not hungry.
Not really. Sal grumbled, and not taking a bite of the bread and swallowing hard. Taking a bite. What about that? Okay.
Not trying to worry. We'll find him.
God, Mother 3 is sad. It really is. Nintendo, please let me purchase it legally in English. I left his comment without a reply, rocking back and forth in my chair, uneasy as I tried to mentally prepare myself. But when the hour was up, the two of us went to meet Benson. There was a bitter chill in the morning air as I stepped out into it, looking around.
Good to see you both. I trust you're ready. As much as I can be.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Very well. Let's get going.
Wait, everything's going to be fine, right? Benson looked me over, did the same to Sal, and then turned towards the trees.
Come on. Best we get this done quick.
His tone said it all, or maybe he just didn't want to jinx it. I held the knife close as we crossed the tree line into the forest, leaving the mansion behind. Never you'll be a pirate sailing the seas for illegal games. Translations forever. Damn, that hurts. My fingers arched around the handle of the knife, having held too tightly. What I feared what would happen if I were to lose it entirely. Okay. Although, I suppose with Oswin's passing, there was many ample time to sneak in without alerting him. But from memory, there were things missing prior to, well, my departure. Okay. Where's the bear? Where's the friends? It was the rat that Benson had shot in the lab. The gunshot wounds seemed to have been stitched up quickly, but the smell of iron was still strong. Okay. Where's the bear? He's just so dopey looking. I'm gonna save Ben. Well, I'll save. I don't know if we'll do the variants. That seems a bit unnecessary. But, like, you know, we're going to save Benson because he's the better boy, right?
Well, I think there's pretty much like 3 different things, you know, save Sal, save Benson.
Yeah, but
go back.
I did those
Sal
variants
stuff.
in Path C already.
But I think it's different in Path D.
Ah, how much different?
I don't remember.
Okay. Soon enough, the mansion was in sight. We'd made it back without anything else happening, but we weren't in the clear just yet. We stopped short of the back door, and Benson finally let out a sigh, shooting me a look.
Are you alright?
What do you think? Okay.
As a response, as fair as any response. Come, we need to tell Orlando and Haas what to expect.
In a flash, Benson ushered me through the door, so we were safely within the walls of the mansion, closing the door behind him.
You're back!
But Haas trailed off, looking for someone else, although not for long.
Yes, we're back, although not without some bad news.
Orlando wailed into his hands before letting them slump, already fearing what we were about to say. His sobs filled the foyer, but it was still reeling from how we found. But I was still reeling from how we found Tyson. So much death is in so little time. I felt sick and almost numb to it from how fast things seemed to be happening. My sadness, I couldn't keep up.
Both Sal and Tyson are no longer with us.
What even happened out there?
The rabbit had backup, it seems. Not that it's a problem now. We're in no less danger.
Okay then, we leave, right? We try and get down the mountain and get help somewhere. Oh yeah, Cody. He got chopped up to bits, and in one of the scenes you skip, he's you get to see a pile of flesh with a
That's a good time.
yeah, with his shirt.
Yep.
That's
if he
the
wants to see
identifier.
what happens, he can go back to Josh's like C playthrough.
Yeah, it's labeled. Like it says like Tyson
Yeah.
C or something. Okay then, we leave, right? We try and get down the mountain and get help somehow.
That is one option.
There are others?
None that are better. Where I had younger, I'd feel more comfortable engaging multiple opponents. But as it turns out, well,
So we leave or we fight?
we're not fighting. We're in no condition. Just look at Orlando.
It's not like we can just leave either. What about the others still here? What about getting down the mountain?
Leaving affords us the best chance of survival. Although, with Orlando's current state, it might make things difficult. I'm fine. If you're going to call me a liability, then at least say it to my face.
Your liability. We we leave. So we can just leave. We don't need supplies.
I don't think there's anything within the mansion that would ensure safe passage down the mountain. Some rope, perhaps, but without proper climbing gear, it may not do us any good.
Great. So let's go. We can figure out how to get back later once we've told the police. Haas took charge, and we made for the front door. On our way out, I lingered in front of the side room where Roswell and Dean were placed, a chill running down my spine. But soon enough, we were out the front with Haas and Benson leading the way. Orlando and I were following as best we could, although slower. Our trek down the driveway was hurried, but having already been dragged through the woods, it was rough and I had to stop. Orlando,
What?
I'm exhausted. Carry me.
I'll carry you.
Reasonable. And slow you down more?
We're almost at the road. You can make it.
I don't think I can. Everything hurts. I've been running for hours. I need water, and then everyone that's dead. Orlando shuffled forward and placed a hand on my shoulder, running that hand down the length of my arm before grabbing my hand.
Sorry about this.
In the next moment, he'd put me over his shoulders and started walking. He carried me a couple of times, but really only short-lived piggyback rides. Something about me being deceptively heavy. We made it, but we made it. We hit the road, just like he said, and there Benson and Haas were waiting for us.
Good, you're here. The plan is to head down the road and try and get across the gap in the road. Some length climbing for the absolute need, but it's our only option.
I remember it being this. I didn't remember it being this bad, but is this really the best option after all? One risk of dying over the other?
Given what Dave and I went through today, I assure you that these risks do not hold equal threat.
All right, fine. If someone has to go first, I guess I volunteer. Go? Why do you want to go for? As fast as I'd seen him, Benson already had his gun out and fired a shot, directed somewhere in my direction. Haas had dropped to the ground just as quick, hands over his ears, eyes shut tight. Gonna have to aim better than that, Benny boy. Benson braced himself and fired again. But just as quick, Jack shifted behind a tree, although the second shot sent his knife flying somewhere into the brush nearby. Well, damn.
I dispatched your associate. I can find time to rid the world of one more.
Interesting claim. But how sure are you on that? How many bullets are left, I wonder?
A full magazine.
Well, that's an unconvincing lie. Still, I have my orders. You have yours. This is only going to end one way.
Indeed.
Orlando and I backed up to the cliff that ran along the road, and keeping away from the edge as best we could. It was a standoff between the two, and before long, Jack made the first move. He rushed forward, a bullet clipping his ear. He weaved through enough so Benson couldn't get a clear shot. Maybe it was the exhaustion from running through the woods earlier, or old age. I couldn't tell. But Jack pulled out a second, okay, rushing in as Benson fired again, catching him in the arm. The second in the chest, and then a final leap. Jack plunged the knife into Benson's chest and used that momentum to take them both over the edge of the cliff, cackling madly as he did so. Okay, Jack. There was silence, nothing but silence that came to follow for a few minutes more, as Orlando and I edged closer to Haas. I helped Haas to his feet, and he was struggling to get himself under control, despite trying to assure us otherwise.
Did that really happen? Do you think...
Nah, kids. That drop's fatal. Orlando paled at the voice, and it was one I didn't recognize either. Not at first, but the smell certainly was. Smoky, a faint presence of biting cologne. Something I'd only smelled a few times, but I knew from where. Ah, hello. Orlando's father.
Holy mama.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good. Orlando's father, Mensis Noble.
It ain't so bad. Yeah, there are worse ways to go.
Like? The crocked smile he wore after I asked him made me realize I had made a mistake. Slowly, almost deliberately, raised his own gun and pointed it at Haas. Without flinching, he pulled the trigger and littered him with bullets. He dies like this in every route. Like Haas never gets a real chance.
Yep, Haas just gets gunned down every single time.
Always by Mensis.
Like, oh, he has to prove a point every time.
The ringing in my ears stunned me, so that I watched as Haas's body fell over the edge too. Orlando's yell of protest barely audible. Oh, hello, Chase! But when I felt him grip me, looking me over, I whined. I was terrified with the extra height he had over me, making the gun at my neck all the worse. You look familiar.
Dad, please! He's my friend! Let him go. I'll become like you. I'll do anything. Just don't hurt him.
Mensis looked towards Orlando briefly, snorting out.
Yeah. Please. All right, I won't hurt him.
Orlando fell to his knees, clutching his chest as he tried to compose himself. But the next thing I felt was the hot metal of of the gun barely off my fur, pointing right between my eyes.
Yeah, this won't hurt at all.
10 out of 10. We got there.
Woo!
Okay. Load. What happens if we save Sal?
Let's find out.
Sal and I emerged from the woods and ran up the back door of the mansion, both out of breath.
We made it.
Were we followed? We both looked up in unison, scanning the trees. As much as we didn't see anything to be alarmed about, my heart was still racing.
Guess not. But we don't know how long we've got before they catch up. Quick, inside.
Sal yanked the door open, and we rushed inside. The moment we were clear, Sal slammed the door closed, and looked around the foyer. You're back.
We didn't have time. Things got bad.
I assume Orlando dies immediately after that. Maybe, Chase.
How bad? Where's Benson? Dead. I would be too if Dave hadn't thought fast, but that's about the only good thing. No. It's not the only bad thing. Tyson's dead too. Two of them will be on their way here, and who knows what they'll do.
Tyson's not dead. If we do what they do what they say, they'll bring him along and let us go, right?
I need you to listen, Dave. We're all scared, but if I could smell that much blood from outside the mill, it's not a good sign. Even if he was still alive, we're probably dead if we stay.
You're lying. He can't be dead too.
Okay, well, where does that leave us? An escape down the mountain? Can we make it? What other option do we have? Stay here?
What if we just got a bunch of weapons and tried our and tried? Our friends are still here. They're dead.
They're already dead, Dave.
Yeah, okay. The way Sal bellowed it out made me shiver, shrinking under his height.
But we're here. But we're not. We need to keep it that way.
Do you think all four of us could make it down the mountain anyway?
I don't know. But I think it's our better choice, seeing that how ruthless who we're up against is. It's not worth the risk to stay. So, we leave now, or?
Before anyone could answer, Orlando's questions, the back door was kicked in, and the two from the woods quickly stepped inside.
Fancy place.
Just like I remember it. Would have thought you'd think to lock the back door, but that wouldn't have stopped us anyway. I stepped forward, looking around for Tyson. What are you doing? Did you bring... Huh? Oh, the dog! Nah, he's dead. Gutted him myself. Okay. I whined and fell to my knees, staring at him in shock. No, come on. It's not that bad.
Least you don't need to look at him.
You! The bear looked to Haas, almost disgusted, and pulled out his gun. Fucking
Oh
blessed!
my fucking god.
It's so good! Every fucking time! Without another comment, he shot Haas square in the head, dropping him instantly. No loose ends. You shot... Why? I froze on the spot, eyes staring at Haas on the ground. The smell of gunpowder and blood filled my nose. You know the drill. No loose ends. Not that I get get why that happened so quick. We didn't have orders, but who am I to complain? I put my hands up, much the same way I'd done before, and Sal followed suit. Orlando half-heartedly did the same thing, trembling all the while. Oh. Oh, okay, so this is the same as that path. Okay. Oh, wow, it is just the... Okay. Oh, yeah, it's that bitch. Okay. Okay.
Anything different? Or is that it?
Yeah, that seems to be just, like...
Okay.
It does, like, it's the same thing for that, I guess.
One more to go.
We'll kill him. Oh, you can back down? Oh my god, no, we're gonna kill him. We're gonna murder the Sal. I thought back to what happened at the pool, shooting Haas a firm look. No. I remember this mostly being the same in Path C, though.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what's different. I don't think I did this one. I think I only did it with Sal alive.
Ah, okay.
So I'm still missing one CG. So it could be on this one.
Okay. I looked...
Yeah,
it's probably what? Okay. I looked towards the back door. I knew Sal was likely still by the pool, and I wondered if what he did was because of some greater plan to target that one that was marked for death. That's what Oswin had said, right? The one of us were marked for death? But now that he was dead, too, and the rats seemed to be none too happy about it either, was the person that was marked for death already dead? I shook my head. There were so many questions left unanswered, and the longer I stayed in the foyer, the more I felt the scent of blood creeping in on me and making me sick. Stepping outside seemed to be the right call. It was fresher out here, but there was still that unmistakable trace of blood tainting everything I could smell. Looking across to the pool area, I could barely make out the fence with what greenery was pruned and tended to in order to make the place seem more hidden. Sal was over there possibly, and with everyone else still asleep, I figured I'd check. Sal? My hand was on the gate, but I didn't open it. Before me, the water in the pool was stained a deep red. The smell was strong too. Blood. Opening the gate carefully, it felt like my body was on auto, each step edging me forward. Sal, are you? I fell to my knees. Oh, okay, so just Osmond's not here this time. I fell to my knees.
That's probably what I'm missing.
That's probably it.
Yep, that's it.
Staring into the water and acknowledging the thing that, until now, I had been blocking out. Sal face down in the pool, in defense mode. Dead. No. It was my fault. I told him that we weren't friends. I told him I wanted him dead. And now he was... Man, so these two are just swimming in blood-stained water now? Like, whew, okay. They must like it. I whined, somewhere between a childish cry and a wail, that brought the amount of people dead up to 4. How many more were going to die? Was I going to die? Off to the side.
Goddamn people in the background.
Yeah, they're just there swimming in blood-stained water. It's fine.
Yep.
I noticed something vaguely glinting in the morning sun, stained just as red and discarded by the side of the pool. Getting up, I wandered over to it, standing up to it, and just trying to process what I was looking at. A kitchen knife. One from the house, likely. He had to come inside during the night and done this to himself? I'd mean that he'd followed mean that he'd followed through after our talk at the pool, but I didn't want to believe it. It's like a bath bomb! Oh my god, Selkie! Staring down at the knife, all I could do was laugh. At first it was a nervous chuckle before delving into a panicked snicker. Looking around, I wondered if there was something else around I could turn to for guidance, for any sort of assistance in getting out there. Getting out of there. Someone! Help, please! Each word out of my mouth was almost like a gasp for help, punctuated with the remnants of my laughter. But no one came. I had to leave, if only because the smell of blood and chlorine was making me suffocate. Sal was now gone too, and in a daze I headed back inside. I felt everything as if it was afraid that if disturbed, everything it'd make it more real. This way I could pretend this was all just a bad dream, that I'd just fallen asleep at the dinner table after getting up early to get coffee. Lit. The room was quiet, and I braced against the edge of the table. I'm sorry, but I confirmed it this morning.
No, you're lying!
He's dead, Orlando. Last night he must have...
You're lying! You gotta be!
In a flash, Orlando left the dining room and back into the foyer, likely with the intent of checking out the pool. This is... Haas seems to snap out of his trance, frowning.
Dave, did you do it?
Yes.
He didn't do shit.
Tyson stepped forward, snarling.
Typical. Chances are that you did it.
Ty, couldn't have, right?
You sure about that? See, pup, this is why we're leaving. Ready to point the finger at you the moment that shit hits the fan.
Leaving? How the hell are you planning on that?
I'm taking Dave through the woods. We're going to be home before either of you fucks decide he's next.
Haas scoffs, shaking his head. Did you really want this, Dave? To just up and leave your friends behind? What would Roswell and Dean think? My stomach lurches the moment he brought up their names. I didn't have a choice, did I? Tyson was the one that had decided that I needed to be going with him.
Well,
Ty placed a hand on my shoulder and gripped hard. Turning to look at him, he had that intense, almost crazy glint in his eye that I remembered from way back. I didn't have to say have to say here that he'd already decided, except instead of something silly like paying for food when he was already struggling for cash, this was a lot more serious. Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I want to leave. The look Haas gave me was somewhere between hurt and disgust, looking between Tyson and I before talking in an eerie, calm tone. All right, good luck. He left in the direction Orlando went, leaving Tyson and I alone. Okay. I assume... Oh, okay. I looked over to the pool, hearing Orlando still wailing. No doubt he'd been there the whole time, grieving for Sal, and I couldn't blame him. With how Haas had reacted, it seemed like giving him some space might be a good idea. He probably had his hands full with Orlando rather than wanting to hear me try and talk things out right now. Okay.
Big skip.
Big skip, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think too much will be different.
No, it's probably up until where, like... Oh, okay. The fur came free. Yeah, probably when Benson, like, is where there's a lot of changes, probably. I yelped, looking at the strands of fur between my fingers. There weren't a lot, and so much as it was, it made me wonder if I needed a good brushing or clipping. This wasn't the way to do it. Turning my hand over, I watched as the fur fell to the floor, and I hugged my knees. I was scared, upset, and angry that I'd been locked in my room like a prisoner. Who could have done this to me? All things considered, there were only two options. Getting to my feet, I wandered over to my bag, looking again, not for not for anything to get out of the room, but anything that might help me save Tyson once I got out. I didn't get far, my attention turning to my door when I heard it open.
Oh, good to see you awake.
Did you lock me in here?
No, honest.
Then Haas. Orlando nodded meekly, backing down as I advanced on him towards the door.
We didn't know what happened, and we're scared you leave again.
Yeah, well, talking to me might have been nice.
You were unconscious, so we didn't have much choice.
Yeah, well, move. You're in the way. Damn. Okay.
Huh?
I pushed past him and left the room. My backpack hadn't given me any option, so as bad as I was at improvising these sorts of things, I had little alternative. Okay. Ah, the good old Benny boy.
What you expect those of us left here to do? To just let you run off again? It's bad enough that Tyson's not here after what happened to Dean and Roswell, and not to mention Sal.
It's fine.
Indeed. Find Orlando and bring him here. While there's only the four of us left, it's best we're all present.
I didn't know where to look. I could still remember the smell of the pool, the sound of Orlando's wailing as I entered the forest with Tyson. Oswin and Sal.
Wailing.
Yeah, he's just, well, Orlando's an emotional boy, right?
Oh.
His name almost caught in my throat, my chest feeling tight, knowing that I had to hand in him, not being around anymore. Maybe not literally, but what I told him weighed heavy in my conscience. Okay. Benson sighed out, turning back to look at me.
We have a lot left to do. We'll spend the rest of the day preparing for what's to come, and reconvene later.
That might be like one of my favorite CGs now. I gotta admit.
Just gun. Did Oswin? Did Roswell? Okay. What about Sal? Huh? Don't think I wasn't aware of what happened at the pool last night. We can get more into it tomorrow. You'd be best to go spend some time gathering your thoughts. I know I need time with mine, at the very least, to get you something to defend yourself with.
Okay. Gunshot and Haas isn't here? Like, what the hell? I took the knife up in hand and shuddered as I held it, just knowing where I had been sent a shiver down my spine. But in a strange way, I felt safer holding it, knowing I was where I was about to go.
Ready yourself, Dave. It's going to be a trial today, so take what time you need over the next hour, and when you're ready, meet me outside.
In one motion, he stood and wandered towards the kitchen, leaving me alone, the warmth coming from the cup of tea I used to warm my hands a little, and I managed to swallow another bite of bread. But the next hour brought no peace, just an increasing sense of dread as I held that knife, and eventually I stood to go and meet him outside. Okay.
I trust you're ready, Dave.
Sure, I guess so. He turns to leave, noticing that I didn't move and paused mid-stride.
Well,
It's going to be fine, right?
it's best not to ask that question, my boy. Let's get going. Let's just get going.
Okay. Okay, so this is mostly the same. Kneeling down, I peeled back the fabric, flinching upon seeing what was inside. It was the rat from the lab, the one Benson shot. I don't know why that line was slightly different. When the mansion came back into view, I had a moment of relief as I found the energy to sprint the rest of the way across the yard and brace myself against the door. Looking over my shoulder back into the woods, still breathing hard, I searched for any sign that I'd been followed. Thankfully, it didn't seem to be the case. I threw open the back door and rushed inside, slamming the door behind me. I collapsed inside, leaning back on the door, clutching my chest.
You're back. But where's Tyson? Where's Benson?
Dead. The whale that came out of my wine, yes, that came out of my mouth was all they needed to know that things had gone terribly wrong.
No. But what's going to happen to us?
We're screwed. We can't stay here anymore. We have to leave.
But the road. What are we meant to do about that?
We don't have a choice, do we? We get down the mountain somehow, contact the police, and go from there. The police? Yeah. I struggled to my feet, still trying to catch my breath. Okay.
Who's gonna shoot us this time?
Oh, I'm so curious. I know. Someone who might be able to help.
Really? Can you move?
Yeah, I think so. Orlando offered me support, and I collapsed onto him, exhausted fighting the adrenaline keeping me upright. There's two of them, the rabbit and a bear. They killed Benson, and Tyson was... I groaned, dry heaving at the thought of how I'd found his body.
Hoss, I don't think...
We don't have a choice. Or we can stay here and find out what's coming for us instead if you want.
No, let's go.
Leaning on Orlando, we, for support, we got out of the mansion, leaving it behind. Haas seemed to be the most eager to move. His pace faster than me and Orlando combined. Granted, I had Orlando slightly rubbing my shoulder and back in an attempt to make me feel better as we fled.
Okay, we should almost be there. The road, you mean? Then all we need to do after that is somehow get down the mountain, and we're fine.
Right. Dave, are you feeling any better? A little. But can we just stop for a couple minutes? Everything hurts. There's no avoiding it. Can't you, can't have you exhausted by the time we reach the main road. Otherwise, we just, won't know how you'll do following further.
I never thought I'd be actively thinking about how nice it is to feel safe again. Feel safe, you know. Just how is something you don't worry about while you're at home or minding your own business?
Yeah, although the past few days has kind of made that a bit, well, I've been noticing it more at least. We were safe, right? Like, before I could continue, we hear a twig snap somewhere nearby. If someone was being stealthy, they were doing a poor job, but maybe they deliberately wanted us to know we weren't alone.
We should go now. Come on, Dave. Let's get going.
They took 2 steps forward towards the end of the road before stopping in their tracks.
Oh, we caught up. Awesome.
You.
Me. Hey, kid. Got a message for you.
Me? What message?
Oh, right. It's, what was it? Oh, right. Dad says hi.
Blessed. As quick as he'd appeared, Jack has whipped out Benson's gun and shot Orlando square in the chest, leaving him a convulsing mass in the middle of the path.
Oh yeah. Haas.
No! Haas was cowering, legs shaking as if we were glued to a spot. His eyes were on the gun, in Jack's hand, while I tried to shake the ringing echoing in my head from being so close to a gun firing. Well, well. Much in the same way as Jack appeared, the bear from earlier stepped onto the path, from the wilderness beyond, gun trade on Haas.
Could take a few notes out of his book, Jack. Not moving given me a clear shot. See ya, Haas.
Do these two know each other? Is that a thing?
Oh, I didn't think about that, but yeah, didn't he shoot Haas last time?
Yeah,
It's
because
like no loose
Haas was
ends.
like, "Hey, it's you," and then the bear shot him.
Yeah, and he said no loose ends. Okay.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
I guess we'll get that later.
Yeah, we don't even know the dude's name. Dang.
Nah, not yet, not yet. Do you think it was his co-host for the TV show?
Sure.
That'd be weird. I yelped as the second gun went off, and Haas fell to the floor soon after, motionless. Good job, fleshing out your friend. By the way, less people around means less witnesses.
Makes cleanup easier, too.
I felt a cold metal on the back of my head, the smell of smoke, and the desperate groans from Orlando on the ground told me what I already knew. Oh. Good job, boys. Okay. Well, we got there. Okay.
Oh. Route D. Everyone dies.
Right?
Including Dave.
Oh. All right. Ah, that was
beautiful.
cool. Wait, what is I'm sorry, I just opened up Discord and I saw your post, Ian.
Oh, my amicus?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good spot for us here.
It's cute. It's cute.
I was trying to do it around his neck, but it didn't fit right. But that's just right.
Okay. Well, you didn't want to try to have it around his arm?
Nah, he already has a bunch on his arms. He's cute. I like it.
I mean, he's cute. I'm just kind of like, do I want to spend $50 right now? Not right now.
Yeah,
I don't want to spend $50 on a boy I don't even really know.
Oh my god! Imagine if they had an Al on one. Holy shit!
Oh, you would buy 20,
I'm waiting
right?
for that. Oh yeah, totally. I'm waiting for merch from Shelter.
Right. But all right, I'll be ending the stream. If anyone in the Discord wants to hop onto the chat, you're more than welcome to. I'll stick around for a while. So, but as for the YouTube audience, I'll see you guys around.